What comes to mind when someone says that they are Generation X? Well, I am one of those people, and quite often we are considered the forgotten generation. At least whenever you see lists of generations and descriptions of the different kinds of people they are, Generation X is always, not always, but often left off. And why is that? Well, for a lot of young people, Generation X happens to be their parents. And it's we're an interesting group of people. I'll have to say that. Because we're from a time when we were pretty much told to fend for ourselves, told to get out of the house, and we'd just go out and play with friends. We'd go anywhere. I would go out, I'd ride my bike, I would be with friends and doing whatever. And sometimes, even in winter, I'd be out past dark. In summer, I'd be out until dinner, go home, have dinner, then go out again in the evening. And, just playing with friends. And the things that we were doing, like for a lot of Generation X people, they're out all day, and the only time that they're home is for dinner. And their parents pretty much tell them to go out. And don't come back until it's time to eat, and then time for bed. So we are very independent. And we also saw a lot of stuff. We went through a period when things were changing from, at least when I was very young, corporal punishment was a thing that was going on its way out. And today, that would be an arrestable offense. Anyone who tries that would be arrested. And I never experienced it myself, so I was one of the good kids. But bullying was also another thing that was tolerated, and they just said kids will be kids. It was something that you just went through. And of course, nowadays, bullying is a thing that people, it's pretty much criminalized. And as a Generation X person, I do agree. Bullying should be something that is punished. It can be something that can result in someone doing serious harm to themselves. And corporal punishment, that's just abuse, really. But I would like to say one thing, is that because of some of the, I'm just going to come out and say it, because of the stupidity of some younger people, there are warning labels on everything. When I was a kid, we didn't have warning labels. We just understood that, you don't do that stupid stuff. It's eating Tide Pods. What is with people today? It's just stupid what young people have been doing lately. It's all the stuff you see on TikTok and all that stuff. Those challenges, which can get people seriously injured or worse. And it's getting to the point where young people don't have any common sense. I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of people don't. And they are just doing the stupidest stuff. Yes, when I was a kid, we did stupid stuff. But we also very seriously understood the consequences. But when I say we did stupid stuff, things like, for example, when I was a kid, I had absolutely no experience jumping my bike, but I did anyways, and I scraped up my entire right side. And, I got over it. I healed. I still have a scar on my shoulder from it. And that was the kind of stupid stuff we did. And these are things that people have been doing for a long time. But today's stupid stuff absolutely defies common sense. Generation X. We know what is stupid, and we know not to do that stupid stuff. But here's another thing about Generation X. We are the first gamers. We are absolutely the first gamers because, you know what? We grew up with Atari, Nintendo, Sega. We're the ones that started the whole gamer thing. So if you think that people who are in their 40s and 50s are people who know nothing about gaming, you're wrong. We grew up with it. We were the original gamers. And, we could probably play Pac-Man for so long that, well, you would be surprised. You would be very surprised. We could probably outplay you. But, we had much simpler games back then. But we were also the first ones to play Super Mario Brothers. We were the first ones to play Zelda. We were the first ones to play things like Mortal Kombat and things like that. And then we also had E.T. the Extraterrestrial, which is the worst game ever. I had it. Never finished it. Piece of garbage game. But there are a lot of games that I have played, and I've been a gamer since the early 80s. So I've been gaming for more than 40 years. And another thing is, this goes to the part about, we don't give a crap. Quite often, we don't give a crap what other people think of us. We are the generation that, well, I guess we are going towards that whole stay off our lawns age, aren't we? But we are basically the kind of person or the kind of people who, when we are receiving, let's say, negative comments on YouTube, let's just go into that, or just stupid young chatters who think they can get a rise from people on Twitch. And I should say most people are very, very good. There's just this group of people who think that they can do whatever they want and try to get a rise out of people. But in general, Gen X streamers and YouTubers, we don't give a crap. Like, we very, very clearly don't care about that kind of stuff, and we'll call you out on it. And that's something I'm guilty of doing in comments of my videos. I've got this incredibly strong sarcastic streak, and I use sarcasm a lot to address these people who think that they can affect or bully. And also, if you come into my Twitch stream and start acting like that, it's like, okay, instant ban. Bye-bye. But yeah, one thing that's great about YouTube is if we see people acting like that, we can easily just mute you and hide your comments. You can keep commenting, but no one will ever see them. You think that they are going on the video, but no one sees them, ever. They're even hidden from the YouTuber. We can't see them at all. We can't even unblock them. So they kind of go into oblivion, and the only person that can see them is the person who is posting. And that's a wonderful thing about being able to moderate comments on YouTube. But yeah, if you try to this is especially like younger people, like the teenagers and early 20s and stuff like that, who seem to think they're everything, they're better than everyone, and they try to pull this crap on someone who's Gen X. The Gen X person just going to look at him and think, what kind of child are you? You're so immature. Grow up. Go away. I don't care. That's the kind of person you are going to encounter if you find that if you are going into an older, when I say older, I mean 40s and 50s streamers chat and trying to be a jackass. Well, you're going to have some serious pushback by that streamer. And quite often won't even address you and you're gone. You can't comment anymore. You're banned. That's just the way it is with Generation X. It's kind of a fun generation to be in. Just because of our experience when we're kids. Just the way we lived kind of toughened us up, but we have the advantage of knowing the life of boomers and millennials. I mean baby boomers. Baby boomers came before Generation X. Millennials came after. And I would like to add that older millennials can be grouped in with Generation X as well, because they also got to experience a lot of what we did, especially those who didn't have access to a computer or video games early on in their lives and didn't really see them until late teens or older. But basically, Generation X got to live both worlds. We were pretty much kicked out of the house, told to go play, and we learned to be independent. We were also the ones who got to play on playground equipment that is made of wood, and you had gravel or whatever, and the merry-go-round things were metal, and you can just get flung off of them. And those playgrounds when I was a kid, they were not the safest thing. We got scrapes, we got hurt, but we always got back up. Nor did we try to sue anyone for it. It's our own fault for getting hurt. We're not weak like that. And then you've got a time when we've got technology, computers, and all that stuff. And Generation X got to get into computers early on. So we are technologically savvy, I guess you could say. So we know both worlds. So a lot of the older people, now I don't want to say all baby boomers are like this. A lot of baby boomers are quite good at technology because guess what? They're the ones that invented these things. They're the ones that created the computers and the video games and all that stuff. So they were the innovators. But a lot of older people also, if they weren't the ones that invented this stuff, quite often they don't know what they're doing with it. And so they're often asking Generation X or younger people to help them out. And then for the younger people, well, there's a lot of technology that they have no clue how to use, but Gen X does. We grew up with innovation, constant innovation, and it continues today. You know, VCRs. Yes, we can program VCRs. We can program how to record on those things. But young people, they'll probably look at it and wonder, what the hell is this thing? Although I should add that my daughter, who is almost a teenager, she knows what videotapes are, which is nice to know. She knows what these things are. But we had, I guess, best of both worlds. The older people may have a little bit of trouble keeping up. Younger people, they have no clue what came before. And so when there are challenges, now this may not have to do with technology, but just general survival out in the real world. There are a lot of younger people who have no clue what to do. And I have a lot of, I wouldn't say education system to blame, but parents. Parents are to blame for a lot of this stuff. And I think it's there are a lot of Gen X parents. So I'm blaming some Gen X people for this. There are Gen X parents who want to protect their children from what they had to go through when they were kids. They want things to be easier for their kids. And so they end up doing everything for them. And that is a huge disservice. The kids need to learn how to do things. They need to learn from their mistakes, fail. No participation trophies. Oh no, we didn't have that. Those participation trophies are meaningless. And, like, we competed for things. Just competition all the time. Sports, whatever. And these days, it seems like even if you participate, you get a little award. Great. And so these people who just participate, they don't try as hard. And going back to parents doing everything for them, helicopter parents. Again, there are Gen X helicopter parents who just want to make sure their kids don't fail at anything, so they do everything for them. And the kids don't learn. They just don't learn how to do things for themselves. And that is definitely a failure of Generation X. Boomers also, some of the younger boomers as well. And of course we got millennials. Millennial parents, they had a little bit more coddling in their lives. So they're, at least the younger millennials, they didn't get to experience the more difficult things. So I wouldn't say my childhood was difficult. It wasn't. I had a really good childhood. I was always one of those good kids who never got in trouble. But little do my parents know. I don't think my sister knows this either, but I do remember going out, I think I was in grade 6, and it was near my elementary school. It was winter, and my friend and I were throwing snowballs at cars. Stupid, yes. One guy did get out of his car and chase us. But we knew the forests that we were running into, because there's many paths through that forest that was surrounding our elementary school. So we knew where to go and how to hide. Plus, we were pretty fast. We got away with it. But yeah, that's a kind of thing that that's one of the few things that I did that I could have gotten into a lot of trouble. But we never told anyone. We never did get in trouble. These days, there's cameras everywhere. You're not going to get away with it. No way. But it was interesting being Generation X, because, or I still am, but growing up at that time, because we got so much freedom. In elementary school, I walked to school by myself. I walked home by myself. I played outside by myself. I remember walking to school by myself when I was in grade 1. I would go to playground with my friend. Grade 1, grade 2. Just ask mom, hey, can I go to the playground with so-and-so? Like, sure, be back by blah, blah time. And, well, I couldn't say it. No. It wasn't be back by a certain time because I had no idea what time it was. But it was just be back by dinner. So somehow we managed to get back by dinner. It always happened. But yeah, in elementary school, I could go anywhere. I went to convenience store to buy candy. I went all the way across town on my bike. And it was a time when we could adventure. And we basically learned how to be independent, how to take care of ourselves. And these days, if you have a kid going out on their own like that, the police can be called. And it's kids don't develop that ability to be independent anymore. I miss that those days because you could be like that. But anyways, I am rambling, aren't I? So just want to say, just don't mess with Gen X. We don't care. We don't give a crap. But we are also very capable. Capable. We are also very capable of being empathetic and caring about others because we know what other people go through. And yes, there are self-entitled Gen X people. Mostly it's just people who don't care anymore. But we seem to have this understanding because the way we grew up. But yeah. Third person mode. So let me know which generation you're in. I'm really curious to know. And how long have you been gaming for? Let me know in the comments below. If you like videos like this, then please consider subscribing. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.